Hey folks, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another one of our weekly Hamefura discussion videos. Today we're going to be talking all about episode 3, but before we get into the video proper, I do want to go ahead and give a big thank you to those of you who shared last week's video over on Twitter. At Bubbalubber, at JThunder777, at Matt87Eagle, at AdlerMayor1, at DCherryWolf, at Anzoff97, at Blue Rose Enigma, at Janame, at Iso Okami, and at Morgan Boyer Poet. Thank you all so much for sharing last week's video over on Twitter, everybody, and if you too would like to have your name shouted out in next week's Hamefura video, then be sure to share this video around on the internet, and then tag me at JoJo Talks Too Much over on Twitter, and I will be sure to shout your name out in next week's video. Okay, so can I just go ahead and say that I am officially, I'm in. There's, as if I wasn't already, but I'm in. I finished today's episode, or rather, I guess this would be yesterday's episode because you'd be seeing this the day after. Doesn't matter. I finished the episode, and I was literally, clapping my hands in excitement because I was so excited to see where the series was going to go. I love this show. I love these characters. I love this premise. I'm in. I could tell I was in when we get a scene with Sophia, Nicole, and Katarina at one point, and Keith too. He's there. Keith is there too. And we get this scene where Katarina sort of sees a flash of her old life, and that's just, I don't know why, but it kind of got me feeling a little bit emotional, and it made me realize how much I really like Katarina. And it made me realize how much I really am already just head over heels for this show and this cast. And especially the new relationship with Sophia. It's so charming. We love to see otaku in our shows. And I'm just going to throw this out there. Sophia making a play for Bookworm of the Year. Just going to toss that out there. Y'all know I love me. I love me some Bookworm. You know I love me some Mine. But Mine versus Sophia in a Bookworm contest, I will be interested to see who outreads who. It'd be Mine. What am I talking about? But still, Sophia's making a play. She's making a play. And let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the Ascarts. And I love this new family they introduce, Sophia and Nicole, the Ascart family. And it's funny, too, because, the way it's introduced is that we see Katarina basically laying in bed, and she's reading a book called Sophia and the Emerald Princess. And it's basically a book about a peasant girl who meets this Emerald Princess. And ironically, the situation, when you think about it, is actually more reverse, since in actuality, even though, yes, Katarina is a noble, the girl who is inhabiting the body of Katarina is very much just one of us, just like an average otaku person. And Sophia is actually one of a more noble background. She's not exactly royalty, but she's not exactly an emerald princess herself, but she is of somewhat nobility. So I actually kind of like that. She's of a high family held in high esteem. So in actuality, the idea of the peasant girl talking to the higher class society person, it's reversed, but I do like that they actually bring that up. And it's just adorable to see Katarina get all excited about meeting Sophia just because she has the same name and seems sort of similar to the Sophia from the book she read. It's adorable as hell. And it's actually really well set up too, because the parents say Sophia, you need to get used to the outside world. So we're going to send you with Nicole, and we're going to send you to this tea party that Gerald and Alan Stewart are holding. They're holding a little tea party for their friends and their family. It's probably the Stewart family themselves and not just Gerald and Alan, but still, we're sending you to this tea party. Or maybe, I suppose, we're bringing you with us to this tea party, I'd have to assume. Regardless, they basically send all the royal families over there to go to this fancy tea party. And that is where Sophia meets Katarina. And Katarina basically defends Sophia from a group of shitty nobles. And that's the one thing I gotta say with this series. They are really hammering home that our group might be the exception, and that most nobles in this world seem to behave like, your snotty noble stereotype, you know what I mean? The noble aristocratic, snooty, high class kind of douchey characters. That's sort of what the background nobles act like, which, given the setting, that makes sense. Again, one of the things that I sort of will be oh, well, that's interesting. or like I can imagine some people being like, oh, well, the background art or like all like the background characters. It's like, no, but that's the point, because it's an otome game. They're literally living in an otome game. That's why the art is so great. That's why I keep saying that the art's amazing, because the art so perfectly looks like they're living in an otome game. It looks like an otome background. The characters act like they're in an otome game. It's just perfect. But regardless, Sophia meeting Katarina. The start of a beautiful relationship, a beautiful friendship. Again, I have it in my notes. Just Sophia, best bookworm. I love Sophia. She's super freaking sweet. And I like that we have this sort of like almost like an elven type of character where they're like fair skinned, light hair. Their eyes are a mysterious color. Sophia's eyes are red, which could mean a whole lot of things. But I do like the idea that her character design is very distinct from the other characters. Like the white in her hair, obviously indicating a sense of purity. The red I find interesting. I'm not sure why. Maybe a desire, like perhaps her eyes are a desire to be loved, to find friendship and some sort of connection beyond just her family. That could be what it is. Her character design is very sort of different to the other characters, and again, that's very much on purpose. And again, your boy loves diving into some color stuff like that, so of course I was interested in that aspect of the character. And Sophia in general is just the freaking sweetest. And let's go ahead and talk about her brother, Nicole. Okay, so they basically kind of established that Nicole's a wee bit of a creep. Well, I shouldn't say a creep. He has a sister complex. And it's funny too, because I'm pretty sure they straight up say, like, one of the characters straight up says that they have, it's Katarina straight up mentions, Katarina's otaku friend from the old world straight up mentions that the dude has a sister complex and that you have to befriend the sister, that being Sophia, in order to get close to Nicole. So the real rival of Nicole's route is actually Sophia, even though she's not like interested in Nicole or anything. She's just the rival, quote unquote, that you have to get past in order to get with Nicole in the game. And again, it's part of the reason why all of you guys, and I'm starting to do it too, refer to Katarina as Buckarina, because she's not aware that she's playing into the game, right? Like, she befriends Sophia without really thinking about the ramifications of doing so, and accidentally gets Nicole to start kind of falling for her a little bit. I don't know if he's necessarily going to fall for her, because they do have that dance in the time skip, and we'll get to the time skip. But they do have that dance, and he sort of indicates that there's a girl that he's kind of interested in. He's not like super interested in her, but he's like, he cares about her. He wants to see the best for her, even though he couldn't tell Katarina who that is. But that could still be Sophia in like a weird sistery, like, no thank you kind of way. But that's fine, because what I love is that they straight up hint, they know I'm watching. They straight up be like, maybe like Nicole and Keith could be a thing. And Keith, my boy, I'm sorry, Keith is going to end up becoming like the Demyx of this group. And what do I mean by the Demyx of this group? Well, if you know your Kingdom Hearts 2 lore, when I say lore, I don't mean game lore, I mean like DeviantArt lore. When Kingdom Hearts 2 was a thing, and the Organization 13 was basically shipping fodder, Demyx was the character who got passed around the most, is what we'll say. Demyx found himself in a bunch of different ships, and I'm realizing that every time there's a new character, I'm like, oh, Keith would be really good with that guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, oh, Keith would be really good with Gerald. Oh, Keith would be really good with Alan. Oh, Keith would be really good with Nicole. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm doing it without thinking about it. Like, I'm already like, Keith would be really good with this character. Oh, Keith would be really good. Like I can't help it. So, Keith, I'm sorry. You're the Demyx. You're the Demyx of Hamefura. Take that or leave it. And can I say, too, like, this is just like a side tangent to the whole Sophia and Nicole thing. How happy I was to see a normal-ass family. Like, Nicole is, like, because I was expecting Nicole to reveal that, like, the parents were shitty or something like that. But no, he's like, no, you're right. I actually do have really sweet parents. And yes, I am very fortunate to have such a kind sister. And the fact that my sister has kind friends such as yourselves, like, it's really sweet. And he flashes the smile. And I guess Nicole's supposed to be, like, the most handsome, like, of the cast. Like, his smile just, like, melts hearts. And I'm not gonna, like, Keith is pretending, like, no, I didn't see that. Keith's heart melted. Like, I know he's gonna pretend, like, no, I was just, like, trying to, like, defend my sister. Like, no, Keith was into it. But regardless, let's go ahead and talk about the time skip, which makes me comfortable to fully ship these characters now. The time skip happens. Oh my god, the time skip. I love these designs. Everybody's looking like 10 out of 10. All these characters straight up looking fine. These are classic anime designs where I'm like, all these characters are looking fantastic. Everybody looks amazing. I love the new character designs. I love like the new outfits, although I am going to safely assume that these will not be the outfits that we see the characters wearing on the regular, specifically Katarina, but we'll get into that in a little bit. What I really want to talk about before we get into all the time skippy stuff is actually just how weird I felt about the time skip. And when I say how weird I felt, I mean that in the sense that I was like really anticipating and really excited about getting to the magic school, because I was like, can we just get to the magic school? I want to get to the magic school. Like, I can't wait. This is gonna be so cool. Now that we're there, it doesn't feel too soon. It feels like just the right pace. But a part of me is gonna kind of miss the carefree nature of the class or Clace estate. So like Katarina's home. I'm actually gonna miss seeing that setting. Like, I got so used to that setting in these 3 episodes that it's gonna feel weird. It's like leaving home, you know? It's like leaving home to go to college or something. It's gonna be a little bit bittersweet. I'm gonna miss this setting, but I am very excited to see the rest of the time skip. I'm excited to see the magic school, excited to see the new character dynamics, because we get a brief little glimpse at the new character dynamics. And I shouldn't even say new. It's character dynamics that we've seen before, right? Like, specifically Keith and Gerald. Keith and Gerald have that sort of back and forth between the two of them where it's very clear Keith is like, get away from my sister. But then Gerald is getting a little bit like handsy. I was like, hey, my guy, like, relax, Gerald. Gerald was like really like I could take you at any time. And you still don't even notice. And again, this is another reason why we call her Bakarina, because Bakarina didn't even notice that the dude was hitting on her hardcore. How do you not notice the dude is hitting on you hardcore when he kisses your neck? As soon as somebody kisses your neck, you're immobilized. You just turn off. You're like that's the thing, right? Like, so I'm baffled that Katarina didn't even connect the dots there. Or the fact that friggin' Keith is clearly wiping where he just kissed and makes her neck like red raw, which like, Keith, relax. But it's just a really funny scene. I loved the time skip. I thought it was so great. And another aspect of the time skip that I loved was the Baisekai element of it. And what do I mean by the Baisekai element of it? Well, of course, I'm talking about the fact that Katarina dances with all the dudes until Mary and Sophia show up and they're like, what about us? And I was like, yeah, what about Mary and Sophia? Bring them in here too. And then they get a dance and it's lovely. And I love this friggin' show. And I'm so friggin' hyped for next week. I guess we should probably talk about Katarina's dress before we close. Katarina is wearing a yellow dress here, and I find that very interesting. Mostly because the dress is very, maybe not, but I'm assuming it might be a reference to Belle from Beauty and the Beast. That's kind of like the vibe that I got, because if you don't know, Belle wears a dress in Beauty and the Beast. I don't know why I said if you don't know. Everybody knows that image from Beauty and the Beast with Belle in the yellow dress. And Katarina's dress is very reminiscent of Belle's dress. And as for the color, I can't help but wonder if maybe the yellow color is actually supposed to indicate that she's becoming a center of attention, not only because it's her birthday, and that's what they're there to celebrate, but also the fact that Katarina has become the center of attention in this Otome game because she's becoming a much more sort of cheery and sort of like vibrant person. Like, her personality has become far more sunny and upbeat, and hence the yellow dress. Like, hence the fact that like the yellow dress I think is supposed to indicate like, look at what a center of attention she is in this moment because it's her birthday, but also like this is her true soul. Like, this is who our Katarina is. Katarina Clace from the game is like blue, right? She's cold and distant, blah blah blah. Our Katarina is yellow. She's bright, she's sunny, she's the center of attention without meaning to be. And I that's probably, again, these are all these like design time, color time, whatever you want to call it. These are all kind of a stretch, but I like to overthink about these things sometimes. But yeah, that's my thoughts on this week's episode. With that said, everybody, I am gonna wrap up today's video. I'm just in this episode put me in such a good mood. Like, you ever have one of those episodes of a show where you're like, that's why I like anime? And that's kind of where I'm at right now. Like, this is like the episode that's like, oh, that was such a good time. Such a good time. As for this week's question that I'm going to pose to you good ones in the comments, what is your favorite ship? Go ahead and let me know in the comments below. And that's gonna do it for today's video, everybody. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, then by all means hitting that like button and leaving a comment down below is a great way to help out this channel as it pleases the almighty YouTube algorithm. So if you choose to do so, kudos to you. And if you're feeling extra supportive today, you can go ahead and check out all the links in the description. One goes to my Twitter, another one is to our Discord server, another one to our merch store if you feel like grabbing yourself a mug, and of course, our Patreon page. And speaking of the Patreon page, I do want to give a big thank you to those of you in the T Squadron who support this channel month to month. Let's go ahead and do the Earl Grey shoutouts. Izevi, Andrew W, Branson C, Bria Rose, Calvin A, Crowbar of Irony, Daniel G, Digger the Fox, Dominic G, Emily, Ionos, Urza, Ginkotaku, Godzilla Fan, No For Nothing, Maria T, Marshall B, Mater, Mirth Mouser, Cell, Shadow Creative, Stephen G, Sakochi, The Suavest Orange, Tristan G, and Veridon. Thanks so much for your continued support over on Patreon, everybody, and if you too would like to join the T Squadron, then be sure to check out the first link in the description to check out our Patreon page. That is a huge way to support the channel. And again, be sure to check out the other stuff in the Discord as well. Go join our Discord. It is now public. You can all join. Everybody can hop in the Discord. Follow me on Twitter if you want me to ramble at you even more. And until next time, you stay classy, AnyTube, and wash your dang hands.